Hello friends, welcome back to the bench. Thank you very much for joining me. Our patient is AP60B, which is 2009 Outback, and one of the problems is P0306, the cylinder number 6 misfire, very common, but I'm not sure how to read it. At temp light flashes, temp goes all the way to hot. Then it will clear up and run perfect. So by temperature you mean the gauge on the. All right, the gauge goes. Yeah, I thought it was goes twice. Yeah, temperature gauge goes all the way to hot. So if that happens, let's see what we can do here. So our suspected circuit is the coolant temperature sensor. If there is a malfunction on the coolant temperature sensor, the car is gonna always, well, not always, when cold, it'll run poorly. Once it warms up, it'll run fine, because the ECM thinks that the engine is hot, so it's going to adjust the mixture accordingly, and the oxygen and the fuel. So it makes sense that it starts working better afterwards when it warms up. So that would point to the ECM issue, which means let's get the pin out. Let's get the meter. So there's not much on that line. There's like a couple of resistors, that kind of stuff. If we have a shorted cap or MCU is shorted, the input of the MCU is shorted, well, in that case, we can only do the replacement. I mean, we could replace the MCU, sure, but we would have to find the one from a similar car. Or theoretically, we could put the blank MCU and just flash it, but I don't have the ability to do so, and it would be more expensive than actually replacing it. Although these ECMs 2009 Outback 3.0, they're pretty expensive. They can go for as high as $500, even more than that. Unfortunately, for some reason, probably I contributed to this price a little bit, doing the repairs on them, because since they can be repaired, people don't want to sell them cheaply. But they're really no different than any other ECM that you buy for 20 to 50 bucks, maybe 80 bucks. Okay, so let's get the pin out. And we want coolant, engine coolant temperature, B13434, bottom left. So first let's see if we have a short on this. We are in resistance, so let's touch the ground and see. And we have 1.3 stable. Well, by stable I mean, yeah, stable enough. Yeah, 1.3 stable. Now, if this is fluctuating, you have to discharge the cups. So if you just take the ECM from the car and do this measurement right away, it's going to be fluctuating. So wait for the cups to discharge and then try again. So we have no short, but we have no short. However, this is passive reading. So let's do the active. We're going to inject 3 volts. So on these, we've had few cases like that before. If you connect the meter, you get the correct measurement. But if you push some power, it turns into a short. So that's passive versus active measurement. The multimeter is just going to use, like some millivolts to measure the resistance. So it's not enough to actually trigger the short. So let's grab the power. So we're gonna drop it over here. We're in voltage. Yep. We have, well, we're negative because I connected it the wrong way, but that's fine. And let's touch the ground and push some current. And now we expect that we grab 0. There should be no current flow, because this is the input of the MCU. MCU is off, and even if it is on, the input is not going to grab any power. If it grabs any power, then we're going to take the thermal camera and we're going to see what's actually taking that power. If it's MCU, MCU is done, or at least that one input. If something else gets hot, this could be a crushed cap, and actually only that, because there's only resistor and capacitor on that line, and it goes directly to the MCU through the resistor. And let's see. Actually, correction. It's not the MCU that's going to get hot. It's the resistor on that line that's going to get hot. But that tells you that the MCU is actually grabbing all that power. But since you have a resistor that limits current, that's what's going to dissipate all the heat, not the MCU. But that, if the resistor gets hot, that tells you that the MCU is gone. And on, and we got 0. Okay, and we got perfect 2.9969. Okay, so there's no short, either in active or passive mode, which means most likely reason. I mean, one possibility is that we have some internal non-electrical fault of the MCU, because there's really nothing else around. Or we have a faulty connection, faulty cable to the coolant temperature sensor. So what you can do, so this is the one, right? Bottom left pin. So disconnect the ECM and check with the multimeter the resistance of that wire against in reference to ground. If you're reading 0, which most likely you're going to read around 0 or basically low, that means the sensor is done and it's constantly conducting, because the resistance of the sensor is going to be dropping as the temperature grows, right? It's reverse proportional, inverse proportional, whatever. So if it's always low, that means the ECM is working fine. It's reading the sensor correctly, but the sensor is giving faulty reading, and that's the whole problem. On the ECM, I do not see any problems, which is, it's kind of a simple test, but again, there's nothing else on that line, so it's got to be either the sensor or wiring. All right, and other than that, what we have to do is do the IC608 resoldering. So let's speed up the footage and let's get it done. Touchdown to Heathrow, DP and me, bro. About to hit the club and turn the shoot to a freak show. Look through the peephole, everybody geek, yo. Need to get girl with an extremely deep. See 6 midgets that be fighting, juggling. Maybe it's just me, cause my mind is struggling. Babes, boyfriend is acting like a clown. You know what's going down every time that we are down. Take a look through the peephole, yo. Everybody's getting geek, bro. Stop the hate and let them leaks know that we turn the club into a freak show. Turn the club to a freak show. Turn the club to a freak show. Turn the club, yeah, we turn the club to a freak show. And we're done. Not much to it. So, if the problem persists, I mean, because we didn't really address the coolant temperature problem, because I conclude that it's not an ECM issue. But on the off chance that you check the sensor and the sensor is actually fine, you check the wiring and wiring is fine, we can look into the replacement. So let me know. I can clone it for you into the replacement. Replacement can, sometimes you can get it at the relatively good price, sometimes not so much. So just for the sake of isolating the problem, that might be a bit too expensive option. But if you find it for like $80 to like 120, 150 bucks, it's worth getting it. And at least, you know, even if you put the new ECM in and the problem persists, you know it's not the ECM issue, and you know you have a spare for, you know, if any problems should arise in the future. But this is it. Thank you guys very much for watching. I do appreciate you, and I shall see you in the next one.